Muy buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Phoenix Wright de Saturni, el final de lo que será el capítulo 4 del juego. A ver, un segundo. Ahora a lo mejor un poquito mejor, sí. Siempre que yo mire para ahí es porque estoy mirando los controles de grabación, a ver si está grabando bien. Vale, un segundo. Vaya, primer corte rapidito, Vale, Final Day, el trial. No me acuerdo de casi nada porque ya hace como una semana y pico que grabé. No. December 28, 9:51 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Es decir, hoy tenemos doble caso importante. Es decir, tenemos que, por una parte, tenemos que defender a nuestro hermano, nuestro brother Edgeworth, ¿vale? Y por la siguiente es conseguir ver como culpable al que mató a su padre, ¿verdad? Que le está provocando una cantidad de pesadillas que flipas. Y eso pasó hace 3 años que se hizo el juicio, si no me equivoco, o hace 15, ya ni me acuerdo cuánto era. This is Judgment Day, como Terminator. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. ¿Cómo? Se ha metido pistolas tranquilísimas. En fin. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. Edgeworth isn't looking glum as always. Vale, creo que el audio lo voy a bajar un poquito. Yo lo escuché a tope, pero tampoco hace falta tanta potencia, ¿no? I hope on Karma doesn't push him too hard. What are you doing? Sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. We should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Trying to not electrocute anyone on your way out. Pal. Camshoe. ¿Cómo no? What's gotten into that girl? Detective Camshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Camshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. ¿Cómo? Pues con el pajaraco. Venga, a las 10 de la mañana se viene tribunal. Vamos ahí. Si pongo aquí, será peor que si me pongo aquí. Aquí un poquito mejor, ¿no? Puede ser, en fin. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. Ya no tienen los humos tan subidos, We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be out into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma. Your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Camshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Hombre, este está aquí, pero va a ser peor. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? Objection. The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. Ah, I see. ¿Cómo que no? Very well, please begin your testimony. Why I left court. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for policy. I figure I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi. And I'm going to prove it. Vale, vamos a hacer un repaso rápido de qué pruebas hay porque no me acuerdo de nada. Presento. Tenemos Attorney's Badge. Time of death, sometime on the 24th or 25th, shot from approximately 1 meter away. Leg photo, taken automatically on the 25 de diciembre at 12:15. No photograph. DL6 incident, exhibit A, is written on back. Overhead map of the loop, el mapa de la zona. La bala. Este punto 22, fire 3 times, first springs from Ezra's right hand. Esto que no va a servir de nada. Polly. Learner's well companion of the boat structure under the name Polly. File on the DL6 incident. Photograph of the scene of the murder. E. Taken from Gary Edgeworth Hart. Still bears clear ballistic markings. But del DL6 tenemos la foto de esta, la bullet, el caso. Tenemos a Polly que nos vaya a ayudar aparte de una fotico. Vale. Habrá que presionar a esta gente que flipa. Voy a bajarme un volumen porque está bastante a tope. I told you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Objection. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do, Bon Karma and Yanni Yogi. But I wasn't running away or nothing. Come again. And why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. Como en el episodio anterior. I went to buy some food for policy. Aquí a lo mejor tenemos que presentarle a Polly. Food? Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bear pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Ah, well, I kind of got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Bon Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see. So he was lost. Pues me cago en todo. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I figure I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. And how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, huh? You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old court's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness, please continue. I mean, I need one of these what-if things, right? I don't get one. A ver, how can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness' memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with the case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies! Order, order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or, as you're saying, are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho! Now, this is interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell the witness name. Yanni Yogi. Gregory Edgeworth, ¿te imaginas? His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. Ya empezamos a hilarlo, cuidado. It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? It's a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can prove he's Yogi, right here, right now. Tengo una manera de hacerlo, Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that his name's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple, Your Honor. Please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on the file Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see, that makes sense. I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I work as a caretaker, I work at the chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingers off to hide your past. The witness has no fingerprints, and we will not be able to prove his identity. No. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? Mi arma secreta. It seems that the case has not been decided, no? No. I know that what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are you going to do? Hay no una persona, pero hay una cosa. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You are a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness by parrot. ¡Pum! Madre mía. Va a parecer Félix que está como una puta regadora, Vale, un segundo. Order, order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even? This is a farce. I object. Objection! Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you are so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through your little game? Yes! Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She is my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. Se lo tenemos nosotros, ¿no? ¿Que vosotros veis esto? That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Who is your owner? Hello? Hello? Ah. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, man? A ver, y si lo hacemos las palabras secretas. Polly, what's your name? Hello, hello. Witness, you can just say hello and expect us to go anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Maybe I should go over to say her name. Polly, Polly, what's your name? Oh, Polly, Polly. Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot name is Polly. Does it have anything to do with... Of course. Fascinating. You claim that the parrot name will prove her owner's identity and show us this proof. Nick, you mean we're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. What we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the brutal parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Vaya. Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to this parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some news. The owner is Mr. Yogi. Hello, hello. A ver. Witness, say hello. I want you to testify. Yes. Have we forgotten something? Esta era la palabra clave. Polly, Polly, have we forgotten something? Don't forget DL6. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, hello. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something we forgot. Hello, hello. Whoa, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. It's ridiculous. Why won't you say it? Something the matter, Mr. Ryan? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained this parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we ask if we'd forgotten anything? What's the safe number? I'll get her to say the number of that safe. The safe? What? Let's try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, Polly! What's the number to the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you're claiming that this number has something to do with it. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say. Huh, ridiculous. How can the number to safe tell us the caretaker is? Show us proof. ¿Es este? Vamos a ir con el file, tú. Deal 6 kill file. What is the reason you have to do with that case, Mr. Ryan? ¿Cuál era tú? Eso, la fecha del case summary. Venga, va, que es buena. Case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date on the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see, it certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Objection. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm the number one. This had nothing to do with a date. Nothing. Indeed. Alone, it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right. But what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Us, due to until the probation after his arrest, fiancé. Polly Jenkins committed. Ya está. Sí. Ya comprendo. Le he calado. What's your name? Joder, que si te tengo calado. Oh, that's quite a large file you have there. Which page is the proof then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well. What page? Suspect data. ¿Verdad? Lo compro. Suspect data. Polly Jenkins committed. Madre mía. Suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Gianni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly? Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Woo! Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. A ver, Von Karma, ¿qué puta comparación es esta? Quiero apostar. Objection! Tu nieta no tiene perro. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately! Witness, tell us your name. Wait! The witness, he doesn't remember? No, it's okay. ¡Hostia! I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Que se ha puesto serio de golpe. Nick, he looks totally different. Se ha vuelto Super Saiyan de golpe. Cuidado, eh. This is the real Yogi. I think, finally, he's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please take your name for the court. My name is Gianni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Madre mía, el abuelo. Order, order! Gianni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years ago. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge? Against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. On Karma, what is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? Venga, Miles. Hermano, ¿qué ha pasado? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Born Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Es como que me huele a serrín algo, ¿no? That is all. This court is adjourned. Objection! Did someone just say objection? Es mi hermano, tú. It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth, madre mía! Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. We have heard Gianni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But, revenge for what? Nick? Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Well, what do I do? Voy a guardar aquí. Me fío menos 3 de lo que haga Edgeworth. O sea, ahora mismo mi hermano está loco, así que hay que raise una objection. The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after the guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. A ver qué dice Edgeworth tú. Cuidado, cuidado Edgeworth. For 15 years. I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know. It wasn't a dream. Gianni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Ay, Dios mío, hermano, como... Order, order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitation runs out today? What? I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned.
December 28 to 24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lomina, Michigan.
I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad. I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. Well, what are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. Alright. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belt. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right? Es que mi puto hermano voy a... ¿Tú crees que voy a dejar yo a mi hermano que esté ahí y ya está? Puede ser, hombre. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though, pointless led the defense to their cross-examination. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defendant have any objections? No, Your Honor. Bon karma. You knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Son of a bitch. Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecution attorney. Mr. Edgeworth? 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. Que no me acuerdo que me contó ayer, Edgeworth, porque para mí hace una semana y pico. The DL6 incident. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Gente, que creo que acabo de ver directamente. You thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Jockey has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Se viene, pero es que directo, no voy a dudar, no voy a dudar. No, no, aquí no hay duda. Murder weapon was fired twice, ahí está. La letra pequeña, ¿eh? Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Madre mía, la letra pequeña. Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness testimony. You'd enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it is on. La que me faltaba, victim data. Boom! Look at the victim data in this file. It said it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I am sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of the shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Yes. Me pongo serio, Your Honor. I think I will be able to show proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Show us the proof. Mira aquí. Creo que es esta, ¿eh? Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. The then shows the contradiction in this photo. Presento. That should be obvious. The contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor? Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Madre mía. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out? In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. Huh. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more on the DL6 case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary, that's page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. La tercera prueba. Order, I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? Déjame presentar una cosa. Una más, eh? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? I have been wrong in this whole incident. What are you doing, Nick? Aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No, but you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it, I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years, Nick. Es que es Von Karma el asesino, ya lo ves, es que es Von Karma. Well, it seems we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth, precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no, he's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitation on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now, indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words, Mr. Wright. I have an objection. Objection! Your Honor, I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds did you object? Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. Ya está Mia desde el más allá dándome señales. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answer from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it existed. What? But we've just heard the proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. Really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? It had to find it. Of course there was a need. That's why they took it. Bah, what possible reason would they have? Well, the reason the murderer took the weapon, the bullet would be proof. Maybe they thought the bullet would be used as proof. It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Why would they only take one of the 2 shots fired? Oh, right. Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm going to have to penalize you. Oh, so it's going well. Pues, the murderer had to find it. Because the murderer was cautious. Well, the murderer was a very cautious sort, you see. That's why the murderer had to search for that bullet. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet. No era necesario. The murderer didn't need it. Why did the murderer have to spend the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't know what to admit, but it's true. Had to take it. What? Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But the murderer had to take the bullet. Just look at Icho. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... the bullet hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Yeah, just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't it? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other 2 people rescued from that elevator, Matt Sedgwick and Johnny Yagi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. Hostia! The 2 men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you're truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it, deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right, I can't think of anyone. Hey Nick, huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grosbeck said yesterday? Gregory Edgewood dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow! It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. Es que es Von Karma, si lo tengo dicho! That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgewood. It was Von Karma! Oh man, something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Should come. Save it for a better time. Wait, I don't have enough proof yet. This is my trump card. I'd better save it for the right time. Mr. Wright, something the matter? I'm fine, Your Honor. Shall we carry on with the trial then? That said, we have no further to go. All that is left is the finish. In other words, the verdict. What? Not yet. Think, Mr. Wright. You have said that someone from the outside was the murderer, yet you cannot suggest anyone as a possible suspect, which means your conjecture is worthless and will be rejected, of course. Nick, now's no time to be holding on to that trump card. The turn's almost over. Alright, I may not know what I'm doing, but here goes. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? If Von Karma pulled the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Boom. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence to prove Von Karma was shot is... What exactly is that? Sorry. Judge, if you would. Penalty. Vamos a guardar. Que ya pensaba que estaba clara, pero no. I'm really not sure how I've managed to make it this far. Mr. Wright, please consider the evidence. Yes, Your Honor. Von Karma is... Hostia, tú! Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I asked, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Oh! Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. Hostia, mira cómo suda. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means... You acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order, order, order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitation runs out of this case today. It was you who We had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. It reacted to something inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you. I was afraid it would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to the DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Proof? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the record room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close, one day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in the shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. ¿Qué es, tío? ¿Qué es esta? Se puede guardar a todo porque me fío -3, ¿sabes? A bullet? Where did you get that? Que lo he hecho bien, hombre. Al fin. This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. Mr. Von Karma. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gary Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then if the markings match, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. La verdad. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet, you're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. Bang. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? It's worth only you. So, it was you. You and your father are my curse. Hostia, tú, cómo se da golpes. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. You left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death, death. 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've called for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out in the hall and fell on my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconsciousness from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then, it was destiny. Esa es la misma foto que la del barco, ¿eh? In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. Madre mía! It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You are innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Y Mr. Von Karma, guilty. Madre mía. That is all. This court is adjourned. Menudo. Qué largo el episodio de hoy, pero hostia tú. Cada golpe, cada giro. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crush him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was the one on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right? Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know, try thank you. I see. Thank you, right? You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. How you want, pal? And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Kamshu. That's how you say thank you. I see. Woo! I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad, huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? But it's over, Nick. My life is over. What is that face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. Huh? You don't look sick. It's Kianci. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Oh, yo, Edgy. There you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not fully stocked for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometime. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick? Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out of as a suspect. What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came in to school anyway. And he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history, eh? Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Pero madre mía, ¿cómo cierran las subtramas? Madre mía. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of the events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you did. You too did. Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily too. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I only had known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, yo. Line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time! Let's go! And after that, dinner on me! Dime que hay una foto de todos. Detective Camshire took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's new found freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December 29, 5:02 AM, Wright and Co. Law Offices. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Y Maya se va. Goodbye? What time is it? Ah, the first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station. Pero bueno, que esto sigue. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? Maya? So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Hold it! Hold it right there. Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gamshu helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped on Karma, Maya. I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? So Maya managed to cheer her up. Huh? So sorry, Nick. I guess I don't understand. Oh, now that I think about it, I don't understand that. It's okay. You don't have to try and cheer me up, but one day I'll come back and be useful. I promise. So this is it. See you soon, Maya. ¿Cómo? ¿Que se va? Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. No me jodas que se termina aquí. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgewood came down to prison to talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gamshu! And he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like when he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? ¿Se ha terminado? No me jodas. Huh? Nick? Nah, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at the cheese shop. That Mrs. a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you'd call a chick. Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Larry y sus mujeres que se van al extranjero. Los gold diggers. Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately, you know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. ¿Y este quién es? El pringao del principio. Madre mía. Gente, que esto es the end. Que no me lo esperaba. Phoenix Wright. The defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit. Oh, you should know. I've taken over management of the Gateway Hotel. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Dios. Ahem. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Oh, yes, me as understudy. I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Oh, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. estás contando, gente? ¿Y el episodio 5? Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star without... What? Did you know that on DVD... En fin. Buah, gente. Hombre, Will Powers. I'm pleased to announce, Mr. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public. Till it's over. I don't want to ruin any kids' dreams, you know? Oh, I got a letter from him. And like she got a call thing. Her pink princess card, she says she can buy them where she is. What's the place is she living at anyway? Maya, que está en el templo. Es que me niego, que si se termina aquí. No. Right? Who's that? You wanna talk? Let's talk. You know, I snuck into the studio the other day and I saw her, the one inside the pink princess suit. What a dog. It was kind of a show for a boy of my tender age. No se puede terminar aquí, no puede ser. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Me, I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. Mía, gente. Está Mía. Mía también salía en la foto. Mira. Para metérmelo de fondo de pantalla que flipas, pero que flipas. Hold it. Oh, a brand new episode has been added. Let's go. Pero bueno. Hold it, dice. Vale, un segundo. Voy a buscar en la guía si hay algún final alternativo con Maya. Y entonces os lo pongo. Vale, por lo que he visto solo cambia la conversación. Que Maya está animada o no está muy animada, ¿vale? Entonces, vamos a hacer una cosa. Como este episodio ya se está yendo de madre. ¿Qué es esto, gente? Si alguien me lo pide, voy a enseñarlo, ¿vale? O lo vais a ver, pero... ¿Esto qué es? Ya del próximo episodio. ¿Esto qué es? No sé, aún se parece a la mía. No te jode. Been 2 months since Maya left my office. Vale. Vamos a cargar esto de aquí, vale. Os dejo la de esto, la escena final por aquí, ¿vale? Ahora os la voy a dejar. Y ya está, voy a volver a llegar al sitio. Nos vemos ahora. Vale. Ya estamos por aquí. Ahora le vamos a enseñar las pruebas y vais a ver la cinemática buena, el true ending. Hay que enseñarle este aquí porque ella la encontró, esta. A bullet? When Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to the DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. It was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Y una sonrisa en las dos. Thanks, Nick. Y hasta aquí el final del capítulo 4. Episodio que yo llevo grabando 1 hora y media. 1 hora y media. Madre mía, por un episodio. Buah. ¿Cómo me voy a matar a editar esto? Joder. En fin, muchas gracias por ver el episodio. Espero que os haya gustado, que lo hayáis disfrutado. Y nos vemos en la próxima con más y mejor. Hasta la próxima. Vale. Adiós.